started Archbishop Shaw, and then did the same at Ole Miss. Played 4 seasons for his hometown New Orleans Saints. Counted for 14 touchdowns. He also played in the CFL, played in various indoor football leagues. If the league had initials, he played in it, basically. Like 10 leagues, 12 leagues, I don't know. And also coached in a whole bunch of those leagues with indoor football, too, and did a good job at that. Of course, the New Orleans Saints are 3-4. They play in Indianapolis this coming Sunday. Please give a warm Quarterback Club welcome to John Fourcade. John?
Thank you, Ken. Before I get started, I didn't get a chance to see JT for a long time, and first guy I run into is JT, and congratulations and everything else. And I'm 1-0 against Coach JT. Coach, I know you're 0-4. I happen to be the assistant coach for John Ehret, but my quarterback was Cardell Stewart. We took it to overtime, and this was years ago before the strike season. So I had to leave after that game, but I was 1-0, Coach. I wasn't the head coach, but I'm taking the 1-0 on it. And then the other victory I had against you was the golf outing we had. It was, you remember that one? Yeah, I guess so. I'm 2-0, so I feel good about myself today. That's it. And then my nephew Chase. I don't want to get into that, but Coach, let me talk about the Ole Miss Tulane. I'm sorry Pratt didn't play. But you do have 88 other players on your squad. We lost our wide receiver on the first series after he scored, and he's out of the game, so that evened out. We're 1-0 against you. I'll get to you in a little while here. LSU, 1-0 against you this year. So I'm feeling good today. I'm not feeling good about the Saints right now. My co-host partner, Gus Cattingale, he's been texting me all day. Every little story that pops up, he's hitting more and more. The Saints are having some issues right now, and it's not just on the football field. We're hearing a lot of things in the locker room, a lot of things behind closed doors. This team should not be 3-4. Before the season, everybody, we all do this. Pick and choose who you want, how you figure it out. Saints should win the South. You know, 11-6, 10-7, whatever numbers we're throwing out there. And I told Gus Cattingale, give him about 6 weeks, and then we'll be able to determine what the New Orleans Saints. And I didn't think they'd be 3-3 after 6 weeks. The Carr signing, I'm admitted, I wasn't a Derek Carr fan to sign, and I wanted Baker, a lot less money, but it's part of the game. You have to find a quarterback, and this team needed a quarterback. And things haven't gone that way, but it all can't be on Derek Carr. I played the position, and granted, if you don't have linemen to block for you week in and week out, it's tough running in the NFL and throwing in the NFL. As far as what y'all have seen, quarterbacks get on players. I heard of a guy named Bobby Aber. I love Bobby, and Bobby was a little bit more tougher than what I see Carr has been on wide receivers. But it's part of the game. I just wish he would have done it national TV or out in the media in the open eyes. But they have too much talent on the offensive side of the football for them to be what they're doing right now. It's a shame to see this. You have to go down the roster, then you have to go down the coaching staff. And I'm sorry to say this for coaches, but that's the guys who determine who plays and who don't play, who calls plays and who doesn't call plays. Sometimes a change is necessarily important for a team, and maybe this is time that they need to look at a change of who's calling the plays. They've been 7 weeks already, 3-4. They're good for a 20-20, but you coaches know if you're just kicking field goals, you're not winning many football games kicking field goals. That puts points on the board. And we tell people 2 field goals gives you 6 points, 1 touchdown, and an extra point, you lose the game. So we're trying to figure out what's going on with the offensive side of the football. They have the personnel. Alvin Kamara, Olave, Michael Thomas. I don't know who's the tight end's going to be. They're revolving around with their offensive line right now. They're working on some things there from what we're hearing. I thought the O-line played decent last week for them. Defensive side of the football, the Saints going to be in the top 15, top 10 for a good defense. They've been that way for the last few seasons. They're still in this. This is the funny part about it. We're in the South Division. They're game out of first to Atlanta Falcons. there's so much out there in front of the New Orleans Saints. Their special teams, they have to fine tune it a little bit with the young kicker. It's too late now. You can't go get Lutz. He's gone. But this kicker can do good for this ball club. It's just he's a rookie. He's young. We understand that. The punter, they got to work on that a little bit. But their special teams has to pick up the pace along with the offense and the defense. And there's a lot of football left. 11-game seasons. You only played 7. And my take is if they can go 7-3. They win the division, and it's easy schedule for them. I don't say it's not easy in the sense that these teams are bad. They're not playing the Kansas City Chiefs. They're not playing the Baltimore Ravens or the 49ers, teams of that nature. They're playing teams that they should beat, and we'll see what happens. Injury-wise, they're pretty healthy. I just think their ego's a little sore and hurting right now, but they have got to find something to fire up this ball club, and they got too much talent for us to sit here at 3-4. So I'm gonna open it up to some questions. This is like a quiet crowd. Really? Yes, sir.
Hey, we're getting terrible reports that some of these players aren't as familiar with the playbook as they should be. I mean, this is the professional guys. I mean, I can understand that as a JV team. But,
Right.
I mean, what's that?
I'll say this, and I'll throw this out there. We heard this, and I can pretty much say that it's pretty much true. There was some issues going on with the play calling in the games where certain persons calling a different play, and some of the receivers didn't know what the play was. I don't know if he reverted back to Oakland, the Raiders plays or what, but they've had some issues with Carr not really on par with what the Saints offense is, and he's calling some different things. But listen, you call a certain route, you ask for a certain route, and the kid don't run the certain route, that's his fault. But if you're not throwing a pass in bounds, that's the quarterback's fault. So you had a tight end drop a touchdown. If he catches that, we're not in here talking about that. We might be able to win that game, but I'm not in the locker room on a consistent basis. We do hear things, and things do leak out. Players do talk outside the locker room, and it gets around. There is something going on with this ball club that's not right. Before the season began, we're all in it hunky-dory. Things have changed a little bit. This is professional football. A lot of guys make a lot of money. And so those guys that make a lot of money tend to say things and do things. And we'll see what happens. But they have got to do something here to turn this team around. And they can, because Atlanta, Carolina, and Tampa Bay, you should be able to win this division easily against those guys. But we'll see. It's a lot of football. I keep saying it. A lot of football left. Any other good questions?
What do you think about the use of the Taysom Hill? About the way to use him?
I'm a little disappointed. I just got a text. It's funny because you hear so much stuff going on. That Carr came in. The first thing he said was, "I'm not coming out of the football game for Hill." That's just talk. I'm disappointed that he's not playing more. I think he can do a lot. Now listen, he's not a quarterback, and I'll say it to his face, anybody else's face. He's an athlete. He can do a lot for this football club as a running back, a slot receiver, whatever you want to do. He needs to touch the ball 12, 14 times a game for sure. Alvin's getting his touches, but I think what happened lately is Alvin Kamara came back, and if you notice, he's getting 13 passes thrown to him, 12, 14 times running the ball. That's a lot for him to handle and carry. And you just can't keep dumping it to him. And these teams are knowing that that's what Carr has done, trying to get Alvin involved in it too much. You can't do that. You got to get Hill involved in it. I'm just trying to find out where's Jimmy Graham at when it comes to the goal line. Why hasn't he played it? I don't want to hear somebody say, well, he's old, he can't do this. If he's old and can't do this, why he's on the team? If you think he's capable, I'm not asking you to put him at the 20 and run a fade seam route down the middle for 30, 40 yards. We're looking at 10, 12 yards. You use him over a 6'5", 11 DB. He's 6'7". So there's a lot of players who aren't getting playing time, which we're all trying to figure this out. And I'm just like you. I'm a fan in the stand, and I got my opinions, but you'll just say about opinions. We all have them, but nobody listens to us. All right. Any other questions? JT, you got a question?
I'm not sure about that golf out.
Not? Ken, were you there that time? Okay, it was you, me, Ricky Jackson, and one other guy. You know, you had a rough day, Coach. I did find your ball the next time I went. I scooped it out of the water for you. You know? Thanks for signing it for me. No. All right, no other questions. I appreciate everything that you guys do here with Ken and the quarterback club. It's fantastic that you keep doing this, and congratulations to the young man and the young men that are here. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys go down the road there. Doug, known you for a long time, big supporter, and all you coaches, I appreciate what y'all bring to the table. Good luck to y'all. Talk about you later. But anyway, look, man, it's you or us going to win the SEC West. Come on. But anyhow, thank y'all for having me here. I appreciate it very much.